apologise in advance. I know I'm eating a bit of pink slice.
That's all right. Yeah. Don't say anything if it's on his face. We'll just leave it on.
Have you tried some yet? Sorry.
This is a food tasting podcast. We've turned into a food tasting podcast. So what's been happening then, Terry?
Well,
as of late,
there's lots happening. Like I say, with the Fisherman's Heritage Project, we had a huge event on June the 20th of this year with over 300 school children down on the Fish Quay singing songs. We had about 30 boats on the river, parading back and forward. We had the Tug Dooney's water display, and that was all backed up by Billy Mitchell and Ray Laidlaw from Lindisfarne, singing a couple of songs forward. And we had a couple of groups on after the event, so attended by the Lord Lieutenant. No less, that was amazing. That was brilliant because it was a very, very hot day, and I had me cap in my pocket.
No.
And I was talking to the Lord Lieutenant, and she said, "Have you not got a hat, Terry?" I said, "I have. I've got me cap in my pocket." I said, do you mind if I put it on? And she says, "No," she says, "I'm commanding you to put it on." so it was a great day. I got commanded. So yeah, but that was an amazing day down on the Fish Quay, celebrating the 800 years of North Shields. Yeah. So I think we've done North Shields proud on that day. I was very happy, very happy.
Because the 800, it's sort of stretched over. Is it the whole year as well? Because there's lots of events happening this year, and obviously Keith Barrett's making the sculpture of Mary Ann, which is going to be at the top of the steps, and that's going up there, I think, next month. Yeah. So so I've been filming that for the past year of him making that.
All right.
But there's been loads happening, hasn't there?
I'm trying to think of the timeline. So when did we sit down with you to talk about this?
2 months ago or something like that. Was it June or something?
No, a lot more than 2 months ago.
It was a lot more than 2 months ago. Because we winter, wasn't it?
Yes.
Where we go down the lowlights. Went down
the
lowlights.
Right. We chatted to you there. But it was well before your event.
Yeah.
And when was the?
I would say it was well over a year ago now. Yep. Because we've had a lot of stops and starts. Right. We've been going to come through and do it, and then something's popped up and what have you. So yeah, we've had a couple of. I think we've had a couple of stops and starts in that time.
We sat in the low lights and had a really good conversation. We were like, "This is the podcast. You've got to come on the podcast and talk."
Yeah. I was just saying, well, we needed a fire for you as well. A fire and a pint. I thought it'd be hard for you.
Where's the fire?
I know we should have
no fire, but that's perfect height for a pint, isn't it?
We should have wheeled the fire in. But in the heritage, how long have you been involved in all of this kind of stuff? Because it's clearly something you're passionate about.
Well, myself and the late Henry Howard put the whole thing together back in 2015. So it's actually 10 years we've been doing it now. And the idea came from Henry's granddaughter. She said that just down there with Henry one day, there's no statue or anything to fisherman Grandad. And Henry and I were talking about that, and we decided to do something about it. We formed the North Shields Fisherman's Heritage Project. We had a couple of stops and starts and that. As all these things do, you go wading in, and then you start to realise how difficult it can be to do things. I remember phoning a lady up at one of the big financial institutions to ask her for money, one of the big charitable organisations. And I told her my story. And she said, "Well, that's a great idea." And I said, "Well, can you give us some money for it?" She said, "We very probably will on what you've told us, but you have to go away. You can't just phone up and ask for money. You have to go away and you have to set things up properly." Yeah. And she, I'll not say her name, but she pointed to...
so she helped you out, did she?
Yeah.
It just takes one person, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Direction.
Well, what she said was contact an organisation called Voda. And so looked up Voda and I rang them, and you need to speak to a chap called Frank Gillander, who's actually one of our trustees now. And I spoke to Frank, And I think that was probably the longest telephone conversation he's ever had in his life. Because I had all this energy and all the ideas about what I wanted to do and how I wanted this to work, but I didn't have a clue how to make it happen. So Frank sat and listened intently, and then, right, I think you better come in and see us. And so then arranged a meeting with Frank, went in, this is what you need to do, this is where you need to go, this is who you need to speak to, this is what you have to set up. And so from the very, very beginning, we listened to and took Voda's advice on everything that we're done. I don't think there's any point in going to ask somebody for advice and not taking it. So everything that Voda have told us to do, we've done, and it's worked out perfectly.
Yeah, because there's a way of asking for it, and there's a way of going about it and getting it, because it's fun, isn't it? So it is. There's always the right route, but it's a shame because the passion's there. We know you care about it. So why can't they make it easier for you? Well,
yeah, it is easy for us now because we've learned how to do it. We've been learning, still learning 10 years on, but we've learned how to do it in the beginning. We learned how to have small events and raise a little bit of money. Even if you raise £20, you've got £20 more than you started on the day. So that £20, you raise another £20. Then that's just a big just figure, let me say, £2,000. Then you go to the big lenders and you say, not lenders, the big charitable foundations that give you money, you say, this is what we've done for the past year, and we've raised £2,000, for example. And they say, that's very good, well, we'll match fund that. And then you've got £4,000, and then you go away and you do a little bit more, and it starts to build up. Then you start to get the trust of the people who have got the money to give away. Once they see that you're passionate about it, once they can see that you're happy to do everything by the book and keep everything right, then that stimulates more interest in them. And the first £2,000 that you give you, the next time you ask, that's £4,000. Then the next time you ask, it's £6,000. So it snowballs like that. Once you've done the groundwork and got everything right, keeping everything right, there's money out there to be had.
Yeah, Terry, where did that so obviously the Fish Quay is a really, really important place. Lots of different people for lots of different reasons. Where did all that passion and energy and all those ideas come from? What was it born out of?
Well, my grandfather was a fisherman. I was the only one in our family that followed my grandfather to the fishing. And when you're born and raised in North Shields, your life is down on the Fish Quay. We used to call the Fish Quay ferries because we're down on the Fish Quay all the time. That was your playground where you went angling, where you went trying to get fish off the boats and things like that. So I think that the passion comes from when you've been a fisherman and you know how hard and dangerous the job is. Then you sort of step back in life. When I retired from the fishing and looking and thinking about everything that me and my mates went through and how hard we worked. And then just like Courtney said, Henry's granddaughter, there's nothing here to remember fishermen. Now I know lots of lads that have died in the fishing industry. I still think about them all the time. They're still good mates. And that's where the passion came from. Let us have a statue to remember all fishermen. It's not just the fishermen from Shields, it's to remember all fishermen. But it's the North Shields Fishermen's Heritage Project statue. So we chose the subject, the man sitting on the bollard, because that could be anybody at the end of any working day. When you guys are finished here, you go outside and you might sit down on one of the seats and have a cup of coffee or something, contemplating what you've done through the day. And to me, that's what that statue represents. It could be anybody outside of a factory, a shop, a workshop, anything.
It's timeless, isn't it?
A working man contemplating his working day and thinking what's going to happen tomorrow. Where he's the fisherman, he's there sitting in that prominent spot down on Fiddler's Green, looking right out at the mouth of the river. And you see, the passion came from needing people to understand what the fishing industry was about. how hard it was. And I mean, it wasn't just the men that went to sea. There was all the women that worked on the shore and all the buskers and all the filleters and all the rest of it. It was a damned hard industry to live and work in. And that's where my passions came, because I think that industry needs to be remembered. Yeah. At the end of the day, that's where North Shields started. On that fish quay that you both walked around right there 800 years ago. It started with a couple of little boats. Now, it's not the industry that it was by any means, but it needs to be remembered. And that's why we're doing all the work that we're doing with the school children. We'll bring them down, walk them around the fish quay, tell them how it used to be when everywhere you could see was boxes of fish. Mm-hmm. Tell them about that. Sit in the classrooms with them. We've got a small trawl that we've made that we can demonstrate how the fish are caught and how the trawl works. So again, this is where my passion is now that in 30 years' time, school children, when they're all like me, they'll be sitting down. Oh, I remember the day I went down the fish quay. Mm-hmm. I remember talking about the fisherman. I remember talking about the herring girl. I remember seeing the trawl. Mm-hmm. And that's, to me, that's education. It's keeping things going.
And do you hope as well, because I hope this, because, obviously it's in, I say it's in decline, but it is a different place now, isn't it, entirely? Do you hope that education might be the thing that prompts that generation of people to put the importance back on the quay? And then it might go around full cycle. Yeah. And you might start to see it thrive again. And
we'll never see the fish quay go back to where it was in its heyday. It's a different market now.
I can't picture it, Terry.
But it would be lovely to think that it could. But there's a new industry thriving down there now. It's not men walking around with caps on. It's posers walking around with baseball caps on. I hate American baseball caps. But no, it's a different industry down there now. It's not filleting fish. Mm-hmm. It's cooking fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bars. It's restaurants. That's the way things are going now. Mm-hmm. And it makes me very happy to see. Now, I remember as the fishing declined, everybody's got this lovely romantic idea about the fish quay. Hey, man, it was cold and dirty and horrible. Yeah. But it was our fish quay, so it started declining. Mm-hmm. Now, if the new industries hadn't moved in, I mean, there's architects, there's accountants, there's dentists, there's everything down there now. But the food and the beer, I mean, there's plenty of beer sold there over the years, but the food and drink thing now is the new industry on the fish quay, and it makes me happy to see people coming down there and using all the bars and restaurants and sitting and enjoying the space and enjoying the time.
Aye. I mean, it's got its own atmosphere, it's got its own life, and it just, I don't know, every time you go down there, it's so unique in itself, and I love to see people working down there. But it's sort of, I mean, like you were saying, Chris, it's almost like it's been forgotten in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
but it's.
Do I think sometimes I wonder though whether and this just popped in my head there because I can be quite nostalgic, right? I'm in my late 40s. I haven't come from a fishing background, so I've overlaid that sort of sense of romance and nostalgia in the quay that I might not feel if I'd worked hard in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because you wouldn't when you went free fleeces and your fingers are numb.
Filthy and cold, and I'd lost friends, and I might think about it differently. Mm-hmm. And then, like you're saying, Terry, you're seeing it evolve now into a new industry that's based around hospitality and people's lifestyles. And I'm guessing that might feel much more positive for you because you're seeing the quay evolve.
Yeah.
Because we may be clutching on to what we, you know what I mean?
No, but the fact is that I can see where you're coming from, Terry, because at least it's going to exist in some form.
Yes.
At least it's still going to be there. So why don't we protect whatever is left of it to keep it there? And I think that's hugely important. But for me, I just keep a little bit of the action and activity going on because there's nothing better than seeing fish sold down there on the market.
Yeah.
Boats coming in, you're seeing activity because it wouldn't be as interesting if that wasn't still there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fish quay. Now, there's people say that it'll end up as a marina. Mm-hmm. Okay, if it ends up as a marina, that's a shame because as long as there's fishing boats still working there and still making money and still coming in, then they'll be landing there for as long as it takes. But that's the atmosphere. That's what people want to come down and see.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you go to any port around the country, you all want to go down to the harbour and see the boats.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that attracts people down to the quay now, to see what's on the water and the boats. And you're dead right. When you see a boat coming in and a lad standing on the bow with a rope ready to throw, you think, oh, isn't this fantastic? Yeah, he's probably shattered. He's probably been up for about 30 hours or something. He's thinking, now just get this rope ashore, I want to go to sleep. So, but, you know, people have got a romantic sort of idea about it. Yeah. It's something that's in you, because there's not many people that do it, you know. I mean, I didn't make a great lot of money out of the fishing industry. So it's a hard industry, and sometimes you don't make any money out of it. So, but it's something that's got to be in you for you to do it.
But and do you feel the pressure to continue doing it? Like, say,
yes,
like, you know, I'm not a gambler. I've never gambled, but the fishing industry is a little bit of a gamble.
Yeah.
Because you go to sea, you do your 14 days or whatever the length of your trip is, and you come back and you haven't got any wages to pick up because the boat hasn't made any money. Because all the expenses, the fuel, the food, insurances, all the maintenance costs and everything come out of the cut end before you get your money. You only get the percentage of what's left after the boat's made its living. So if you didn't catch many fish, all the expenses come out and you've only got that small amount of money to go between the crew. So you get to the point where you've made money, then you haven't made money, and then you think, well, that was bad. I've just done 5 days at sea and I haven't got any money to pick up. You think, right, well, I'll have a rest and go back again because this time we'll make more money. And you didn't. And then you have another rest, and then you go back again and think, well, this time we'll make some more money. And I think that's a little bit like a gambler. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you get the good haul, the good catches, and you make some good money. But the truth of the matter is that good money is not enough to compensate you for all the time that you haven't made any money.
Yeah.
So you might one time pick up a damn good pay packet, a couple of £1,000 or something, but for the weeks leading up to that, you haven't made anything. So
it's like gambling, though, isn't it? Because I bet you forget in the moment.
Yeah,
you forget how much you've lost. You just remember this one sweet moment where you've got £2,000.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You do, because it's a buzz when it's coming in. I mean, I've been on a trawler when they're bringing in the langoustines as well, and the lads were happy as Larry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's like, right, lads, all through the night. I slept on the floor in between. There's one bed and they just shared it. Do you know what I mean? So no toilet, it was over the side. And then recently I went out with Jimmy Dawson doing some getting the lobsters in, right? And we went out and he wasn't really catching much. And I saw him 2 days later. He said, Dan, you should have been out with us the next day. We got a couple of hundred. I'm like, but it's just because he made them. It's that instinct to go, well, move them closer to the rocks. Let's put them in a different position this time. And then the next day was an absolute payload. I mean, so it differs from one day to the next, but that's 3 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon every day, 6 days a week. Do you know what I mean?
It makes you wonder how it must be hard for families to stay tight together. When you think if you've got like kids and a wife and you're walking home after 14 days and saying,
I've got no money.
Plus also, I always ask the same with farming as well. Like, how are the younger generations, it's not attractive to them? Because how are they going to make money? What does it make attractive to kind of keep doing this thing, you know?
Yeah, I think there's a lot with, like, my generation as well. We were all brought up in industry. Lots went on to do lots of other good things with better jobs and different careers and that. But my generation, I think a lot of were brought up in the industry where it was all manual labour. And that's the road that we all went down. You just sort of stayed in that. You know, but what you just said there about no toileting over the side, I'll tell you a tale about that, because I still laugh to this day about it, on a boat called the Helga Saga with Eric and Stewie Duff. And me and Stuart, Eric was a skipper, and me and Stuart standing sorting prawns and gutting fish. Lovely summer's day, flat calm, and my tummy's rumbling. I said, oh, Stuart, I'll let a gun on the bucket. So stop working, way around the port side, gets the bucket out, down with a bib and brace and that, and sitting on the bucket, and around comes Stuart. And so the gunwale was only the distance between me and you, where the gallus was and the gunwale and that there. So I'm sitting on the bucket, and Stuart gets his tab out, starts rolling his tab, and he says, well, if you're having a shit, I might as well have a tab, Terry. So what a lovely afternoon, you know. And he's sitting on the rear of me, and he's there. I'm a tab, Terry.
It depends if he's eyeballing you, though. That's what's going to put you off.
We're just chatting away, you know. But that's what the job's like as well. You live so closely.
Yeah, boundaries just disappear.
You live so closely with the lads. I mean, 3 or 4 years could be sleeping in a space like this. So it's that's how it sort of works out, you know. All right, he's having a shit, I'll have a tab. You know.
I guess that's how you get so well bonded, though, don't you?
Yeah, aye.
But you have to, though. There's no escape. Is there?
There's nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go. You've got to get on with it.
There's nowhere to go. Well, there isn't a bad weather. You take the bucket down the engine room. So, yeah.
I don't know. You're probably better up top in case it falls out.
Well, I'll never forget. I'll never forget that day. And I mean, Stuart's daughter Lynn, she's one of our trustees, and the Duff family are steeped in the fishing industry, in the history of North Shields. So, and this is one of our strengths is the Fisherman's Heritage Project, where 90% people from the fishing industry.
Yeah.
We've got Charlie, you met Charlie, who's not a fisherman, an ex-policeman, and we've got Frank, who's now Frank's now our grants advisor. So we've got a couple of people that haven't been in the fishing industry because we've had to bring other skills in. We got skills in knowledge of the fishing industry as it was, and where we want to go in that, but we need these other skills to make the project work. And so that's where other people are starting to come in now. But that's the strength. I've known Lynn for I don't know how many years. We've drank together and everything with our dad and the family and all the rest of it. So again, that's the close-knit community that the fishing thing can be, and that's one of the strengths of the Fisherman's Heritage Project. Well, 90% of it are all from the fishing industry.
It reminds us of like mining, farming. It reminds us of all of these communities, you know, and these industries.
Yeah, hard work and grafting industries, you tend to stay together.
Aye. So what was your time like fishing? I just want to paint that picture of when did you start going out on the boats fishing?
Well, I didn't start until very late because I'd done all sorts of other things. I mentioned earlier to Chris a while ago that I'm dyslexic. And I always found it hard to fit in to places. I had lots of good jobs, but I never, if it was taking you 10 minutes to do your paperwork, it took me half an hour to do the same paperwork. So you then start to be removed a little bit from the people that are there. So I think that dyslexia has had a great effect on my life. It's not always a positive one, because I think as a dyslexic, you struggle to you see things, you understand things, but you're just never able to connect properly with other people, because I'm miles ahead. See, I'm talking to you two now. I'm weighing the traffic up at the tunnel on the way home. You know, so you're always miles ahead. And I think dyslexia made me move around a lot. I was pretty good at nearly everything that I'd done, because I think dyslexics are. We're very, very clever people, and I think we're very, very talented. But I never seemed to be able to fit into I don't want to use the word click, but to fit into with the rest. I always seem to be on the outside.
Were you always aware of that as well, though, right? Going back to school times?
No, because in school times, when I was at school, dyslexia didn't exist. So I remember, for example, reading lessons, right? When you read a book, Pull On of the Elephants was about the only book that I've ever read in my life. And that was because we were doing it in the classroom. But the teacher, I cannot remember his name, And he didn't understand what was going on in my mind, so I'm not saying he was a bad man, but he used to spot that I wasn't following the reading properly. And he'd always come along and he'd make me stand up. McDermott, stand up. Right, will you read on from here? Well, I couldn't do that as a dyslexic. So that straight away pushes you away from the rest of the people. You've been stood up, you've been singled out. Yeah. And I used to get sent out of the classroom for being thick. But dyslexics are not thick. So the point I was making before was that I moved around a lot, doing different jobs, and was very successful in lots of things. But I always never felt in. When I finally went fishing, I felt I was at home with that small group of lads sitting around that table, eating my dinners, eating my breakfasts, working hard through the day. That suited me down to the ground because I wasn't having to have something to do with all the, is the right word, academia, paperwork, all. That suited me right down to the ground. And I think that's where lots of fishermen come from, is that's where you feel comfortable.
And did you feel that from day one as well?
Yes.
First day, first job?
Yes. First day, first job, Philya Morris out of North Shields with Alfie Walker was the skipper, an absolutely lovely, lovely man. Jimmy Mann from Shetland, Sandy Lyons from Bucky. I'll never, ever forget working with them men. Because, and I'll tell you something else as well. Them men were as hard as nails, but they were so gentle.
Yeah.
They were great men to work with. My friend John Wood, the late John Wood, who I worked with for years, very much the same. Hard as nails, but really lovely people. And I felt when I first went, I only went away pleasuring just for a joke. But once I started doing it, I thought, hey, I don't want to be a sales rep anymore. I want to be coming down here and I want to be with these lads. And when we're finished with work, I want to go to the pub and sit down and drink with them and enjoy their company. So there's loads of guys like that in the fishing industry and in the merchant navy that you sort of fit in with and you click with. But see, I think the dyslexia has pushed me down that road because it's where I felt I fitted in.
Yeah.
And I think that I never thought that at the time. But as I sat back years later, and I mean, I'm 72 now, and I've had this all my life. So you start to work things out in your head, you know, and it becomes
so
quite
making
clear.
Sense of things.
I'm thinking dyslexics are extremely clever. We're very, very talented, but we've got to do it our way sort of thing. And that's what I found with the Fisherman's Heritage Project. Me and Henry founded it. Me and Henry talked about who was going to be chairman, who was going to be vice chairman. Henry said, well, you be chairman, Terry, because you're a younger lad. You've got more energy and all that. You take over, I'll be vice chairman. And as we started to build this picture up of what we wanted to do, I was miles ahead of everybody. I still am with this project. People have got no idea what's going on in my mind for this project, but it's all good. And it's because I think that I'm chairing it, that I've got the enthusiasm and I've got the ideas that it's working. If I was now sitting in an office with a load of other people, probably with different ideas about how we should do the job, which we came across, oh, we were doing everything wrong. Oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And I'm thinking, well, shut up and you mind your own business because it's working. Yeah. How can I be doing something wrong if it's working? So was that you've got people with all different ideas, but this has been, the success has been generated by my enthusiasm and my ideas for the project. And I think lots of that comes from being dyslexic. And the point I'm making is, when I got to this position now, where I was able to say, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're going to do, it's proved that it's worked. For 10 years now, we've got money in the bank. We've raised over £135,000. We've had probably over 400 school children down in Grimsby Fishing Heritage Centre, all free of charge. Right? When we do something for the school, we don't charge anything because the schools haven't got the money. But I think my enthusiasm, and I don't just mean me, I mean, if you've got enthusiasm, if you've got something to sell and you believe in it, you can sell it.
Yeah.
I'm not selling something else that somebody's created. I'm selling what I've created in my mind. And that is a good commodity to sell because I know what I've created in my mind is good.
That's because you're selling a vision, aren't you, all the time? That's what you're doing.
It's passion, but it's something, it's life, it's lived experience as well, Terry, and something you care about, you know?
Yeah,
you're there, you live it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? You're not coming in from the outside, are you?
No,
you know?
no. So, you see, well, loads of people with different ideas. I think, well, that's stupid. If I hadn't stuck by my guns, would have ended up with a plastic dolphin or something down there. You know, oh, you cannot spend that amount of money. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. You cannot, shut up, man. You can do whatever you want to do if you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I think if people can develop that passion, well, is it not the same about yourselves with your organisation? You're starting out.
Aye.
Yeah.
You know, and it's passion that drives it on. It's the idea. It's what you want to do. And if you can interest other people to help you do that, then sometimes I've walked away from a meeting and I've looked outside the door and run the corner. I went, yeah! Because it's went well.
Yeah.
And I felt you've done well there because you've been able to put your point across.
Yeah.
You've been able to sell your idea. You know, so, yeah, that's, I mean, I think of water. Because I choke up when I see this sometimes.
I'm going to join you. We're all doing it, 4 of us.
Drink interval.
We're all on the drink.
Look at that.
Drinkable.
But what makes it worthwhile? See, we take children down to Grimsby Fishing Heritage Centre. Our benefactors pay that. We've seen kids go in there and work together as a team. I remember one time there's a bit net that you can pull in and the kids pretend they're on it's got some weights on, so they've got to pull really heavy. And me and old Albert were sitting watching the kids. And they're pulling away at this net, and this one's driving, and that one's pulling. And this one lad stood up and he said, stop. If we all pull together, it'll work. And I said, Albert, that's what we've achieved. One of them kids has stood up and he said, hold on, we're not doing this right. Let us pull it all in together, and it'll work. And can't that be a great example to take on throughout life? So there's instances like that. Some of the things the kids come up with is amazing. And I remember they started singing on the bus one time coming back. Lots of these kids have never even been out to Shields. They've never even been on a trip bus. So we're giving them something. And I started singing songs, but it wasn't the camp down races and Polly Wolly Doodle like I used to sing was in the Scouts can on camping trips. That one. They were giving it 6 note with a rabbin. And I'm thinking, what the hell is this all about? But the important thing is, them kids will remember that day that they went down to Grimsby Fishing Heritage Centre. Yeah. And that's teaching history, and it's keeping the fishing industry alive.
Yeah, but it's also opening up their world.
Yes, exactly. The other thing, like with the fisherman and the herring girl, see, I choke up when I say this sometimes, but I've got a letter from a 9-year-old kid, right, a 9-year-old boy, about the unveiling of the herring girl, when we had the boats and everything going on, the water cannons coming out of the tug on the river and the singing of the songs and everything. And I've got a letter saying, the best thing in my life. So, whatever you do, right, I'll remember that forever. That little lad will remember that day forever. Yeah. So, all the 10 years I've been doing this, all the grief, all the joy, and there's a lot of grief as well, all the grief, all the joy, everything is worth it for that one letter.
Yeah. And you've built a legacy, though, for that one person. Yeah. Like, even with the herring girl, there's like these points along the fish quay that these people can go back to and remember and have those memories.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, like I say, the herring girl, that's the marking the work that the women done.
That's how we first met.
Yeah.
I'd love you to talk about that,
yeah,
like your approach to that project, because that's
when
we first met.
The fisherman's there. We've also got the Book of Remembrance. Mm-hmm. That cost over £6,000. We raised that money like that. We raised the money for the herring girl in exactly 1 year. We raised £37,000 in 1 year for the herring girl. We raised £75,000 for the fishermen in 2 years. So it just shows what you can do if you believe in what you're doing.
Can you just explain to us the approach to those projects? So, where did the herring gill come from? Where was the idea from?
Well, the original idea was when we unveiled the Book of Remembrance in the library, and we're talking with Dame Norma Redfern, the mayor, and she said, "Oh, the book, you've got the fisherman," and she said, "Is there nothing for women?" Well, I turned around to Charlie, and Charlie looked at me and thought, "Bloody hell," you know. And she said, "You got nothing for women?" And I said, "Well, I suppose we could have." And then Norma went off to do her business, and then me and Charlie said, "Yeah, bloody hell, you start all over again with a herring girl." And that's what we said. Simple as that. Yeah, we'll do a statue for a herring girl. We know what we're doing now, and do it well. We'll just start all over again and do a herring girl. And that was done within a year.
What's the story of the herring girl? Yeah, what is the story of the herring girl?
The herring girls, the shoals of herring used to swim all the way around the country. And they used to start off up in Shetland. So when the boats were fishing heavy for the herring, they didn't have any factories or anything then. The herring had to be processed and boxed and stored and shipped away. So the boats would catch the herring, and then all the women on the quayside, all the fishermen's wives and all the people in the area would come down, and people caught they filleted the herring. They didn't fillet herring. They gutted the herring. I just put the knife in, gutted them as fast as anything, and then they boxed them and put them on salt and stored them in barrels, and then the barrels were fired off all over the world. So the herring, the shoals of herring moved from Shetland all the way down the east coast, right the way around to Plymouth.
And to Crasta, because Crasta kippers were herring on.
Yeah, aye.
Originally.
And so that's, as the boat sailed around the coast, catching the herring, the women used to come around the coast on the land to process the herring. And as they got further south, they picked up more and more women as they went around. And I think they only paid about a penny a barrel. I can't remember the exact figures. But as the herring moved around the east coast, the women moved around the east coast, and they moved down, and they got right down as far as Plymouth and all them places in the channel, and working, processing the fish every day. So that's what a herring girl is.
So they kind of followed the herring.
Yes, they followed the shoals of herring.
Incredible.
Yeah,
yeah,
they followed the shoals of herring.
Yeah,
and of course that all died out in about the 60s, I think it was. That started dying out. I can't remember now. Was it the quarters or something? I can't remember where it was, but the herring died out in the 60s, and that industry came to an end. So they work extremely hard. They're exposed on the fish quay and places like that all day long. Because again, just like the fishing, you cannot say, right, I've had enough, I'm going to go and sleep now. You've got to keep working as long as there's stuff there to process and stuff to do. So they worked extremely hard and long hours, and they didn't have holiday inns and things to stop in as they travelled around the coast. They found digs wherever they went. They travelled on trains in the back of fish wagons and all sorts. So the fishermen were hard-working guys at sea, but the women were equally as hard.
Yeah. I heard I don't know if this is going to be a myth, and I'm going to embarrass myself talking about it. But is there a link? I think I told you about this a few weeks ago, the kip thing, the kipper.
Oh, kipper. Go on to kip.
So is there some link between the word kip, sleeping? Because I watched or I listened to a documentary or something on the radio a good while ago, and there was some link between, and I'm sure it was herring girls, and about people sleeping in smokehouses. Or like catching like a few Zeds, a kip.
I really don't know the answer to that.
So I'll tell us on a podcast. Somebody please tell us that. Right?
Oh, somebody will.
Yeah. I'll ask. We still have old Albert. He's not a trustee, but he's part of our group. He's 89 now, one of the last remaining steam trawler men, and he remembers the herring girls. And he used to say, he says, well, good lassies, but you didn't dare set your lip up to them, else you got a backhander.
Sure, right. Yeah.
And he used to say they're always happy and they're always singing, but they played hard as well. You know, you didn't cross them when they were having a nippy or out like that, else you get a backhander.
Yeah.
So I'll ask.
Yeah,
we'll ask her. That's a good question.
Well, they're like organised. I'm trying to get my head around. Were they organised? Or they're like, it sounds like a circus of people moving around.
It does, right?
But did they just sort of collect people along the way from local areas?
Yeah, aye. see, they'd start off in Shetland and follow the fleet, and so this woman would join them, then they'd be bigger and bigger, and then move further and further down the coast, you know. So they were all employed by companies.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a job.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just like, oh, how like the Pied Piper, how we will all follow them.
I was just imagining, I'm going to go with them.
How we all get away down there. But it was a job, so they're employed by the fish processing companies, and they just went where the work was.
What was it like when you were a kid on the Fish Quay, Terry? Was it like bustling? Was it?
Yes. Well, you had a fleet of ben boats there. Then that was the middle water trawlers that used to go up to southeast Iceland, places like that.
Really?
Yeah. So you had the fleet of ben boats there. I can't remember, Ben Glass, Ben Fury, Ben Torque, Ben Edra, Ben... Oh, I forget all the names. But they were what were called middle water trawlers, and you had the fleet of them down there, and I always used to berth on the Western Quay. We used to love going down trying to scrounge fish, and I used to look at the boats and think, oh, I want to go on there. What happens with that boat when it goes out there? You always wanted to be part of it. And then along at the Fish Quay Sands, just where the fisherman is now, and the Lloyd's Hailing Station. Yeah. We used to play on Lloyd's Hailing Station. That's the bit that's all rickety and falling down now. It would be lovely to restore that. Honestly, that's been in the back of my mind for a while. Yeah. And I think we could generate enough interest. It would cost millions, but it would be great to have Lloyd's Hailing Station restored. So anyhow, we used to play on the Fish Quay Sands where the old lifeboat house was. That's on the rocks. So you were down the Fish Quay nearly all the time. It was easy from where I lived. We used to get the number 6 bus down. I don't think any one of them had the bus fare. Let's used to try and sneak on, but get the number 6 bus down and go and play on the Fish Quay all day, and then get away back home again. Hopefully, you'd have a little bit of fish or something to take home by your mum and dad, you know.
What was your first day, or your first journey out on a fishing boat? Can you remember that, the first time you went out?
On a commercial boat.
You know, because you're looking at it going, oh, they're going on a journey. I want to go on that journey. Yeah. What was that journey?
Well, it was only working daily then, just working inshore for prawns. But the first thing was the smell. Not a dirty smell, smelly men are out like that. The smell of diesel.
Diesel and fish,
Diesel.
It turns my stomach every time, Jerry, because I get seasick, you know.
Yeah, well, most people have been seasick. I mean, I've been horrifically seasick. You know, people say, nah, it's a different environment, the smell, all the rest of it. But then when you start working and you're living on the boat, you don't know. It's not a bad smell. It's just it's a different smell. And you've got the smell of the sea air and all the rest of it mixing with it, and fumes up the engine, the smell of the diesel, the smell of the fish, the smell of the ice. So it's a complete different environment. But my first time out to sea was on an angling boat. My dad bought us a split cane fishing boat rod on Christmas, and then he took us down to the quay and paid the man to take us out on one of the angling boats. And I was as sick as a dog from the minute I got onto it to the minute I got off it. And he was a nice bloke, because I don't think I even dropped my hook over the side of the rail, where I came home with a big bag of fish for me mum and dad. I can just remember lying in the corner being sick all day. And it was the most horrible feeling. It really was. Seasickness is not nice.
Because you can't
get rid of it, you've just got to let it pass. That's the thing.
Aye. The lower you can get, the better. I've found.
Well, that's the centre of gravity.
Horizontal lines, you're right.
If you're up there, you're moving around. If you're down here, you're not moving around so much, you know. So
it's lying flat. I remember doing it one time on a fishing trip in Mexico. It was 12 hours long. I was seasick for 12 hours. Just like I was on that trawler as well, but I had to do a job on that thing, sure. But the lads never batted an eyelid. They just let you get on with it, because they know what it's like. They just... They one makes a fuss of it. But
it's not like a banter. The people not jibing.
No, they didn't jibe us either.
No,
do you know what I mean?
You're dead right. That's where it is. You're seasick. You've been sick.
Yeah.
No, and then you spew up.
Yeah, I didn't announce
it. Get up and start working. Yeah. And then your mind comes up.
It's hardcore,
and then
it is, but I couldn't even drink water, because even that came up. So I just had to go dry, fully dry.
It's horrible.
It's awful, isn't it?
It really is.
As soon as I stepped foot back on land, it was like,
Then, like, see, I suffered with seasickness. Most blokes did. I never was seasick. Most people are seasick. But why do you go back? Now, why did I go back angling again? Because I thought, well, next time I go, it'll be better.
Yeah.
Why do you go back? When I remember on the Philly Morris, I wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
But you've got to get up and you've got to get on with your work. And then, of course, there's the bravado.
Yeah.
You know? You're not going to be the lying down there being sick and feeling sorry for yourself.
Aye.
You've got to get up and be one of the lads.
Aye.
So that's the great thing about it, you see.
Well, it's just getting through it and working through it and all that kind of stuff. But what I didn't realise is different boats. I went out on the lobster boat and Nick Hanlon from down there, he was like, Danny, be all right. I'm like, why is that? And I went on and I was fine on the smaller boat, but it was that kind of, it was the kind of the prawns one. It's that. It's just that middle-sized boat because you're moving around too much. Bigger ones, I'm fine. It's just that mid-size. It's just a different movement, and I think that's it, innit? It's all about the movement.
Well, I've been retired now when I start this project, I retired. Retired too early. It cost me a lot of money over the years.
I was going to say, not exactly retired, are you? You're still cracking on, eh?
So, but one of our trustees, Martin, he's got an angling boat. And he keeps saying, we'll go out, along with Mick, one of the other lads, we'll go out and we'll have a little bit angling. I don't want to go now in case I'm seasick. I keep putting it off. I'm busy. I keep thinking, I'm not going out there on that. I'll be sick as a dog. And then, of course, all the bravado and the fun starts, isn't it? You know,
Aye.
He'd been at sea 30 years and he was sick when he went out there. Get in the corner. Like being a dyslexic again. Aye. Get in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. So, your time at sea, what's it like being amongst that, being out? Did you go far? Did you go to Iceland? Did you go kind of?
I never went to Iceland. Mm-hmm. The biggest trawler I sailed on was called the Japonica. Mm-hmm. She was an old Aberdeen side trawler, and she was working out of La Coruña when the Spaniards got licensed to fish in our waters, and that part of the deal was that on all their Spanish-owned boats, they had to have a percentage of British crew on. Mm-hmm. So the biggest trawler that I sailed on was called the Japonica, and that was out in the Atlantic, and we fished for hake, and I sailed from La Coruña, shot the gear away somewhere off Southern Ireland, and fished all the way north, and turned around and fished all the way south again. Mm-hmm. And we just got up to southeast Iceland, turned around and came back. So that was out in the Atlantic. That was the longest trips that I'd done.
How long was that trip then? Do you remember?
We used to call them campaigns, and they lasted 3 months. So you went away from home for 3 months, flew out to Spain, joined the boat, but you'd land, I think it was like every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So during that 3 month period, you got 3 nights ashore.
Aye, come back.
So you come back, land, and then
aye.
1 night ashore, and then sail again the next morning, And that was a good job. But the Atlantic was, some of the seas that we see in the Atlantic were tremendous. Build up,
What's the worst you've seen then, Terry? What's the worst you've been in?
Well, again, in the Atlantic, the swells and the waves, the swells in the Atlantic are bigger because it's deeper. You get the waves when it's in shallow water. You get the rougher seas in the Atlantic. You still get rough seas, but it's a bigger swell because it's deeper water. When you get the shallow water, you get the rougher seas. Mm-hmm. But huge waves, you get 30, 40-foot waves. That's, I still listen to people and they say, I went on the ferry. I went across the the weather was atrocious.
We went on the ferry with you, didn't we?
Aye. Across the Tyne.
It's one of them things, you've got to see it to believe it.
Aye. Like just a wall of sea.
You've got to see it to believe it.
But were you ever in any of those moments where you regretted it? Where you were thinking, right, this is a big
again, like being seasick, yes, there's loads of squeaky bum time.
Yeah.
And I don't think, if you hear somebody say that I was never frightened, I say, bollocks, you're talking shit. Yeah. Because you do get scared. I mean, Mother Nature, it's beautiful, but it's merciless. And I remember times looking, thinking, God, if anything goes wrong here now, we are gunners.
Yeah.
There's no way anybody's going to get to her, you know? So, me personally, yes, I got scared, but adrenaline is a big part of it because it's such a fantastic thing to see. I liked it when it used to get really, really rough, but I didn't like it when it was really, really rough for 30 days non-stop.
Yeah.
It's brilliant to see the sea when it's wild, and especially with a bit of sunlight in the sky and it's fresh and they're huge, huge waves. You see, like buildings coming towards you and then your boat rises up on it and then you get to the crest of it and then just like surfing and then you're down the other side. So it's an amazing place to be and see. And I don't think anybody that says that they were never scared is not telling the truth. Because I've been scared lots of times, but it's brilliant.
I guess you're right though. Like if it happens once, that's the adrenaline. You can cope with it with adrenaline. But if you're thinking about it for 30 days and you're going to sleep on it and thinking it's going to be the same tomorrow, it's going to be the same the next day.
Yeah.
But it's like you're witnessing like Mother Nature, like you said, in all of its glory at that time, and it's just one of those experiences where you're just teetering on the edge of danger. You know what I mean? And I think that's the excitement. But 30 days is I've seen it now. Leave us alone.
As long as your boat's in good condition, watertight, and you're doing everything right, you're safe. Because it's just like a water. It's just like a bottle.
Yeah.
You try and push your bottle down into your bathwater or something like that, it'll not sink. It keeps popping up. If you keep your boat watertight and well maintained and well looked after, you're going to float. If your engines break down, then you'll not float. You'll not be floating the way you want it to, but you'll still not sink. It's only when the watertight integrity is broken that you sink. So it's safe, but it's exhilarating.
So that's the difference, though, isn't it? If you're like a layman like us and you don't understand that, you don't understand the science of the boat. We just think it could get knocked over by a wave and that's it. It's gone, done.
Yeah, but it's the same with turbulence in a plane. Do you think the pilot's not, would they be flying it if it couldn't handle it? Do you know what I mean? Apparently the wings can bend like right up. We don't know that. That's why we get scared. But I mean, the pilot, he's doing it as a job. He's doing this every other day. Do you know what I mean? So they wouldn't do it if it was that dangerous. Yeah.
But it can be dangerous. Flying aeroplanes, because I remember a story from the Dubliners, and one of them, Barney McKenna, I think it was terrified of flying, and they were flying from Ireland to Germany, and on the plane, Barney's going, oh, blah, blah, what about this and what about that, and one of them said to him, shut up, when your time's up, your time's up, and his reply was, aye, but what if the pilot's time's up?
I think that was put in like just nailed it. 2 lines. Yeah.
So what if the pilot's time's up? So I mean that's another thing. Now I've flown all over. When I was in the merchant navy, you're in and out of aeroplanes and airports all the time. I don't think I even want to go on an aeroplane. I don't want to go on a boat anymore, and I don't want to go on an aeroplane. We'll go to Spain for a holiday. No, we'll go to Scotland with Charlie in a car. So do you want to get on a plane anymore?
Yeah, that's it. Chances. How many times? We've talked about this before, haven't we? We asked you. I'm going to go. Where we're going to go? What you eating on these on the ships? Yeah, because we've talked about this in the pub, and you mentioned something. You mentioned
we've
something.
Talked about it ever since.
We've talked about it ever since. We need you to talk about that. Talking about. Yeah, I mean, we were like, actually, what do you eat on the boat? You didn't have a microwave like the lads do now, do you?
Fish. A little 2-ring cooker in an oven. Fish. We used to eat Sandy Lyons, God rest his soul, a lovely, lovely man. They called him Killer, Tiger Lyons, because if he'd only hit you once. But what a lovely man.
Strong name, that, like it is.
What a lovely man. And he was a brilliant cook as well. And I remember him cooking herons. And we had this thing made out of steel, just like a chip pan, but it was square. And it was just made in the workshop so that it sat on the little stove properly. And I mean, in the bigger boats, you've got bigger galleys and everything. But I remember Sandy Lines, and it was just herons scored, rolled in oats, and dropped into this hot oil. Couple of minutes out and on down, and the Scotsman called it a nashad, a tray, with all these herons on, and the skin was black and crispy, and you just opened them up and the meat just used to pull off the bones like that. It's absolutely beautiful.
Rolled in oats, did you say?
Rolled in oats, yeah, aye. But again, these are recipes from Scotland.
Yeah.
And one of the other things is people talk about a thing that we talk about on boats, especially on a fishing boat. It's in the merchant navy as well. They say, we'll have a pan of shackles. And you hear people going on, that was lovely. What's the recipe for a pan of shackles? There isn't a recipe for a pan of shackles. It's what the cook's got left. And he chucks in some stock, all the vegetables, any meat, anything that he's got left, goes in the pan and it just simmers away. And that basically it's soup with anything that, I love a pan of shackles. I right a pan of shackles is fun. Aye, it's what you do at the end of your week. You just chuck in some stock, whatever you've got left.
Would it have been like fish, or would it have been bits that were left over from the
again? Sandy Lyons, Cullen skink. Sandy used to make that beautifully. Yeah, that
I like Cullen skink.
Well, when we were working daily out of Shields, Sandy's wife used to work in the bakery. So when Sandy was coming down the boat in the morning, he used to get hot rolls, because on the smaller boats you're not geared up to bake and things like that. On the bigger trawlers you are, cook, bake, spread all the time. It smells beautiful. But he'd come down with the rolls and that from the bakery where his wife was, and he'd make a pan of shackles up, or the herrings or something like that, and we had that there with the lovely fresh bread and the butter. Simple can be, but beautiful. But beautiful, so, yeah. In the merchant navy, he ate very, very well. He ate very well. 3 meals a day, and it's as much as you want, really. But on the fishing boats, it's cheaper to eat fish than it is to buy stuff in. And when you're out tripping for a few days, whatever meat you get, your bacon and all that just used to go down below on the ice.
Right.
So that was your freezer, was down below on the ice, and you'd get whatever you wanted. And fish all the time, really. Fried.
Do you ever get sick of it or not?
No. I still have haddock and chips about twice a week now. I love it. Piece of haddock, I think, is the nicest fish there is in the sea.
See, I talk about this all the time. I'm haddock. Like, if I go fish and chips.
I got cod last time, a couple of weeks ago.
I prefer haddock.
Yeah, I was on the fence. It was like cod or haddock. I was like, I'm kind of going cod because it's like, it's the one. But
haddock's a different taste and a different texture. The cod completely, and you get people say you cannot tell the difference between haddock and cod. Yeah, you can. You can tell by looking at it, because the haddock's whiter.
Yeah,
and it's tighter. The texture of the meat's tighter. Cod's and drier. Cod's more watery, and if you see a bit of fish and it's got tiny little red lines in, that's cod. You don't see that in haddock.
Yeah, I think that's why I prefer haddock. It's meaty. It's got like a texture to it.
It's drier, and it's I'm gonna go in the chip shop on the way now. And the grandbairns love haddock and chips as well. And like we had them. What day is it now? Friday, Wednesday. We had the grandbairns up. And as soon as they come in from school, I'd say, Karen, my wife, what would you like? Chippy tea, Grandma, chippy tea. And I think they get the cod bites, the children's things, the cod bites. But they love it to sit there and they wolf it down, the fish and chips. And that's always a great excuse for me to have haddock and chips.
Yeah. Have you got a go-to fish and chip shop?
Yes.
Have you?
No. I'll tell you, I laugh at this because I had Kim McGuinness and Norma Redfern and Alan Campbell, who have all been great supporters.
Yeah.
I do want to go into politics, but these people have been great supporters and very, very helpful to me in the North Shields Fisherman's Heritage Project. Yeah. But we had them down one day and had them around at the tavern and all that, around the quay, showing them all the processing places at 55 North and all that. And we're walking along the quay past the fish shop, and I was with Norma and Kim McGuinness. And Kim said, well, which is your favourite fish and chip shop down here, Terry? I said, Blythe. Because it is. My favourite is Coastline and Blythe.
Coastline, just on the shoreline.
Yeah, aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the batter. It's always nice and dry. The haddock's always lovely and dry. There's no oil running out of it. And I like the chips and I like the curry sauce.
See, straight in the curry sauce. Love it.
Yeah, curry sauce, mate. I was at the temple, Coleman's Seafood Temple last week. The best curry sauce I've ever had in my life. But Richie, he wouldn't tell us what was in it. It's a secret recipe. But delightful. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'll never forget that with the lassie Kim McGuinness saying, well, what's your favourite chip shop? It's in Blythe.
You should have taken her down, man, Joey. Oh, you got to try this curry sauce, Kim.
She's a bit busy now, I think.
Was this a while ago, was it?
Yes, this was before she became. But again, the interest that them people show in the fishing industry, that their hands are tied with loads of things.
Yeah.
That they can see, they can plan, they can think, but when they try to put some things into plan, it doesn't work, you know.
I know. It's just, that's the frustration. It's all about the doing, isn't it? You know what I mean? And getting to that fact.
But is the quay, I'm just asking out loud here, the whole plan to rebuild that side of the quay, is that still happening? That's
all completed now.
It's done.
Nick Hanlon worked on doing a lot of that.
That was a big job, wasn't it?
Yes, aye. And that work's nearly all finished now, so I think they're now talking about putting the ferry landing beside where the Herring Girl is.
Yeah.
That's up to them. You know, the Victorians put the ferry landing where it was because that was the best place to put it on the river. I think engineers have worked it all out. So this is just people talking shit like we normally talk. I wouldn't have put the ferry landing there because the currents and the tides are very strong there. The Victorians put it further up the river where it wasn't so strong. But the engineers have worked it out, so if they come out with the right figures, that's it.
It's just to try and improve footfall and that connection between South Shields and the quay.
Yeah. That's my understanding of it, is that you get a ferry straight across and then you're from South Shields into North Shields, which has got to be beneficial for all the businesses down on the quay.
Well, you'd like to think so, because it'd probably open up like different opportunities, wouldn't it? You've got the market and everything in South Shields. Because they've got the big in South Shields at the minute. You've got the marine colleges moving into right into the centre. So you'd like to think that market's going to start to thrive again, and it might grow. Who knows? You know what I mean? Might open up opportunities for the fishing industry.
Anything that's bringing feet down there, because on top of the feet there's legs, on top of the legs there's a body, and there's a mind. And there's hands.
And pockets.
And they want fish and chips, and they want beer, and they want tavern pies.
Yeah.
You know? So I haven't mentioned the tavern, but I'm passionate about the tavern. I drank in the tavern from when I was a boy, right through all my time fishing, and I still drink in there to this day. And Danny and Cameron, who own the tavern, have been like Alan and Norma and Kim and all the politicians and things that have helped, all the people in North Tyneside Council that have helped. Danny and Cameron have been instrumental in helping us out with letting me use the pub for auctions, pie and peas suppers, fish and chip suppers. So they, in the very beginning, they were amazing for me, and they give us confidence because they had confidence in what I was doing. And they've given me a lot of money over the years. They've raised money in the pub, and we still do. To this date, we don't sell. Then takes our produce from allotment down, and it's there. And if you want to buy some onions or whatever, not buy. If you want, anybody can take it, or just put a donation in the tin.
Yeah,
we'll make about £100 a month from that, and that all adds up over the years. Over the year, you've got £1,200. And that's what all mounts up. But again, Danny and Cameron have been instrumental in helping us with everything that we've done in promotion of the project from the very, very beginning. And they've given me lots of personal donations of money. Yeah. You know, so along with Nigel as well, Nigel Devine, they've been great. Local businessmen.
It goes back to what you're saying, though, just how tight that community is. It has been for a long, long time. It sort of continues in a different guise.
Yeah, because you want the new people to believe in what the old was, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And help it along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you get 3 points then, Terry, since you've been in there that long? Do you get any,
if
any free?
Or like freedom of the bar.
If I say I get a free pint in there, all my mates is going to be doing the next time I come in.
Of course it will.
Yeah. No, I said free
Just
pint, not
pretending
tight.
to put it in. Oh, no, Terry didn't know you'd be here.
Lads, it's singular, not plural.
So no, I don't get any free pints in there.
Are you winking at that kind?
I heard, you did mention that. I heard that pies are good.
Pies.
I haven't done it yet.
Well, again, you know, before we're just talking about the simplicity of food on the boats. Cullen skink,
Yeah.
fish soup, rolled herring. No, get loads of preparation and all this and just straightforward cooking. Well, a tavern pie, straightforward cooking. It's good pastry, it's a good size, and everything that goes into a tavern pie is bought fresh in. Yeah, everything's bought fresh in. There's nothing comes out of bags or out like that. Sauce out the back, making the fillings up, doing the pastry, making the pies, everyone by hand. It's a damn good, straightforward, simple, basic food.
Yeah.
It's a pie and it's beautiful with great ingredients in it. And then when you add all the service, and you can get a damn good quality of insult in the tavern, you know, if you start working your ticket. It's great.
I love it.
It's a lovely pub. Like you say, you go in and it's like pubs used to be.
Aye.
And you've got the roaring fire there.
Yeah.
And you've got the good food, the pies, home-cooked chips, twice-cooked chips, whatever you want to call it.
How are you? Let's get a taxi.
With chips. You've got pie and chips with chip-back fryer and peas and mashed tatty. Yeah, mashed tatty.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy. It's good, basic food, and it's good.
I think when you a good classic old school pub, you want to kind of almost duck down and lean in and kind of squeeze through the door, and that's exactly what this is.
I love it when you have to,
that's what I mean.
do I go left or do I go right? And you walk in and everybody looks at you.
But you can spend an hour just looking at the walls.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's what I like.
But you
about
see,
stuff like
that's
that.
again the pub when Megan Rubel had the pub. That's when I used to drink it all the time. And things change over the year. Maggie died, and Rubel, you know, things change. The pub went through a few different hands in that, and it got worse and worse and worse. And I stopped going in for a while. Well, when I went to Merchant Navy, I wasn't around so much, but stopped going in for a while. But what Danny and Cameron have done down there has been amazing, because they've restored it back to what it was, a real pub. You go in there and sit down on your own, you're not going to be on your own. It's only small. Yeah. You're not going to be on your own for very long, because somebody will speak to you. And if somebody doesn't speak to you, the staff are speaking to you. I've watched people just get brought into conversation, and that's what pubs used to be like. They were great places. They were places where you learned how to be a person. You went into the pub and you fitted in to the I remember going to pubs with my dad and his mates. Hey, I wasn't the big lad then. I was the little lad, and I'd done as I was told. 18-year-old, you're full of yourself, but you're sitting there with your dad and all his mates. You do as you're told, because that's where you learn respect in the pecking order. And the taverns, you don't get lots of blokes like that in anymore. But it's still a great place where everybody's part of. Yeah. You're not sitting in there on a pub on your own. If you're in the tavern, you're talking to somebody, or you've been involved in some sort of conversation somewhere. I like to go in and start and go on about women's lib.
How does that go down?
Oh, great! It gets people talking, because you'll see your wife, you're sitting there, and I'm talking to Lynn or something like that, and I'm winding Lynn up about women's lib, and you see this woman's head start turning.
Oh, he's
throwing the grenades. Let's start.
I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing. He's fishing in the pub. That's what he's doing.
So, like I say, just there, and it's lovely. You get people come in where there's lots of couples come in on Wednesday afternoons when Lynn and Michael are there, because they like the talk, they like the banter.
Yeah.
You know, and like you say, it's not a big place, so that's its charm. And Danny and Cameron haven't changed it from what it was. They've kept nearly all the old features and everything that's in there.
Well, me met you in there was a young couple with a baby in there. So it's just
That's
that.
right,
It
yeah,
was. So, yeah, it's just one of those.
Yeah. Proper pub.
Aye, proper pub. Menu?
I was going to ask just before we go on the menu.
Yeah, go for it.
So what future plans for the project then, Terry? What's going on at the moment?
Hey.
Didn't go in his
I
head,
want to get
man.
you paint your big ideas.
Yeah.
Hey. Well, they're not ideas anymore. It's starting to happen.
Yeah.
The big idea is restoring Lloyd's Healing Station.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll chuck the grenade in there for that and stir the pot up a bit.
Yeah.
And then
see
step back.
what comes out of the conversation.
But we've been entrusted with what we call the Keymaster's Diaries by a family of a guy who used to be the Keymaster. This is a little bit secret at the minute, you know. It's just us here, isn't it?
Aye, we are. You shut your eyes and they're not there. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, we've got these diaries now that the Keymaster kept over the years, going right back in the late 50s, 60s, 70s, when the fish quay was really booming. It's about that thick. It's about that big. It's in very poor condition. So we're now raising the money to get the paper preserved. Is that right? Conserved, preserved, I don't know. To get the paper threat properly and restored. Hopefully restore the book as well. And then we're going to get that digitised so that we can put that out to all the schools as a teaching aid, the history of the fish quay.
That's incredible.
So that's ongoing. We've got, we have a subgroup within our Fishing Heritage Project that are dealing with the book, so that's ongoing. We're starting to work with the Tyne Rivers Trust. Tyne Rivers Trust are an organisation that look after conservation from the mouth of the Tyne right to the source of the Tyne. So they bring school children down. We've got all sorts of things. We're just putting these... In fact, just last week, I got the first dates for March of next year. We're going to have 3... I don't know, I told you on the way in. Yeah. We're going to have 3 lots of kids down for 2 months. I forget the figures. But that's all going to start and happen in March of next year. So we'll be teaching them about the fishing heritage of the quay and about the future prosperity and how to keep the river good. Because if the river's good, it's serving the whole community. And we've got that. And then we've got our proposed move. We've got the fund in place now for the move into the dockmaster's house. And we'll be using that to bring the children down. And it's not the biggest space, but I mentioned our Book of Remembrance earlier on. Well, we're going to get that digitised and we'll put the books on permanent display in North Shields Library. Yeah. It's pages turned every day, so on today's date it'll be the men who died over the years on the 10th of October. Then, and that's all handwritten. It's nothing, it's nothing printed.
That's a lovely touch that it's turned every day though.
Yeah.
Like
That book goes off twice a year and it gets updated by Tim Sokol and his team at Sokol Design. And they handwrite every name in that book, proper calligraphers, scribes. If the Lindisfarne Gospels were getting done now, it would be Tim Sokol and his team that are doing them. The work's beautiful. The work is beautiful. So every entry in that book is handwritten, so that's a memory, a way of preserving the memory of the men that worked in the fishing industry. That's a teaching aid for the children. So we've got that digitised on my website, nsfhp.org. Go to the website, go to the book, and you'll see the digitised version of it. It's not exactly the same as the original in the library. It will be when we'll get the money to do that, but at the minute it's just like a computerised version. So we've got the Book of Remembrance, we've got the Chris Sloan Diaries coming up, we've got the work with Tyne Rivers Trust, and we've got moving into our premises.
So just a few things then.
there's a canny bit going on.
If there was like a rich benefactor watching the podcast, how could they give you money? What money are you trying to raise, and how do people support you?
It's hard to put a figure on it because we're looking at probably about £25,000 to do the Chris Sloan Diaries because of the digitisation, the preservation work. That figure will probably increase. But we're just putting things together for doing that. So we will be applying to National Lottery Heritage funding for that because that's the type of thing that they love to fund. But we're ongoing work with the schools. It costs us £1,500 a time to take children down to Grimsby. That's with the bus and into the Fishing Heritage Museum. But don't just leave it at that. We'll get them a little gift as well. So the kids, instead of them all standing looking like this and all the junk in the shop, they all get a couple of quid to spend on some of the junk. That's putting money into Grimsby, you see. So it cost for £1,500. That was last year's figures. I haven't done a trip this year. But to take a busload of children down to Grimsby, and that's normally about between 30 and 50 kids.
That's not a lot of money to impact that many kids, like, is it?
Yeah, it's not. That's what I mean. Well, I'll tell you, where I was saying about our benefactors, one time we had kids down there, and the children had money of their own to spend on gifts and things. And there was 2 little kids to one side, and I said to the teacher, what's the matter with them? Oh, they've got no money. Oh, bloody hell. I said, well, they have no. Get them out of here. Pick what you want. I was telling Nigel about that, who is a great one of our benefactors. He said, Terry, never, ever hold back in a situation like that. If you think that some of the children are missing out on something, you spend the money and then come and see me in the tavern and I'll give you the money. Whatever you spend, I'll give you the money. So that's how nice some of these people are. Never let the child go without.
No, mine.
You know?
Tell us, Terry, we'll give you the money. Yeah.
I'm serious. We need to think about that, because I'd like to see how we could support those trips.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about the schools going.
That's what I mean.
There could be a link there.
Well,
let's have a chat about that.
Yeah, what we're doing with the schools is with the Tyne Rivers Trust as well. Obviously, we'll have to, again, I don't think there's any point me going on a head teacher's door and saying, yeah, fetch the bairns down to Quay, we'll take them here, we'll do that, we'll do the other. And then the head teacher, I remember one head teacher saying, well, this is was there with my late friend John Ord. We're talking, he says, well, lads, what you're proposing to do is fantastic, but we haven't got the money. The schools haven't got the money. And I'd missed the most important point and telling us, no, when our years haven't got the money, we have. And yet our whole face changed. Yeah. You know, as if to say, she's probably thinking, yeah, this would be great, but I haven't got the money to do it. And then when we can say to them, and that's important to me, schools are education. Everything that happens in the school is educational for the children. If we can do something with the kids, whether it be go to Grimsby, whether it be come down to Shields, we have to pay for everything. Because I cannot go to the teacher with my brilliant ideas, the head teacher, and say, there you are, give us the money to do it. They haven't got the money.
Yeah, totally understand.
So anything that we do with the schools, we pay. That's our, is ethos the right word?
Yes.
I had to think about them big words. You know. That's what we like to do anyway. So anything that we do with the schools, we like to pay. And if that means buying the kids an ice cream or a bar of chocolate or a bag of chips, then we'll do it, because it has to be a day that every child that goes on one of them trips is treated the same.
They all experience the same thing. I totally agree.
Every child
has to be.
gets exactly the same. So there's none of them thinking, oh, look what he's got and I haven't got anything. And that to me is how they remember. They remember. If we can give them, like the little 9-year-old kid, the best thing in my life, that's a memory. If we can do that for other kids, every penny's been worth spending.
Fully agree.
Thoughts to be had on that one?
Certainly, Terry. Yeah. Then you
go for it.
Right, and Terry, last few questions here. We've made a menu, right? And these are questions. So we're going to do your Greg's order last, but if you just pick anything from there, anything that takes your fancy, and then we'll have a chat about it.
And we can't ever explain it properly.
We can't explain it properly, so that's what I'm going to say. Just shout something out. We've already done your fish and chips, so we know what you're having. We know you're having curry, not gravy. I know that. Out on there, jump out at you, Terry. Anything that you want to talk about?
First pint.
First pint, here we go. Lovely. That's perfect, that's right. So this can be your first pint or your first drink. I don't know, I'm taking a bite over now because I'm going to get back out in about 2 minutes. What was your first drink or your first pint? How old were you?
17.
That's late, isn't it?
That's late, Terry. Are you sure? Are you telling us the truth here?
Well, I tell a lie.
Well, I mean,
17. Hey, man, I'm dyslexic. I get numbers round the wrong way. Right?
Well, it can't be 71.
Hey, right job I had yesterday with the Tyne tunnel.
Really?
Right? Because trying to get onto the website and that, because I've got the disabled badge and I could get the tunnel one out. But it had expired and I couldn't do it. They didn't have me right address. I said, but you've got the right address. It was me. Got the numbers wrong.
Really?
I'd put 92 Lesbury Avenue on the form, and I'm 29. And that's another thing that happens. It caused hell on with fuel figures on the ships. You get the numbers wrong the wrong way, But, so I was 17 when I had my first pint in the Alexander on Queen Alexander Road in North Shields. And it was a pint of McEwen's youngest tartan.
Yes, I remember that.
And a dimple glass.
Yeah.
Right? Because we drank beer then. That was before. Lagers were just starting to come in.
Yeah.
Then. So
you're talking the age of Scotch and...
McEwen's Best Scotch. Newcastle Exhibition, McEwen's Best Scotch, tartan
with a big
exhibition.
With a big head on it. That ice cream.
So
they were great, them glasses, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah, it was definitely a Best Scotch in that glass.
First pint, Queen Alexander. Couldn't drink the notice because my dad and all his mates were there, you see.
Right, that's probably why you couldn't get it. That's why it was 17. Because that's the thing, because we were all down the school field, like 14. That's what I was thinking about. Were you sneaking a drink now and again?
Probably my first alcoholic drink was when my mum and dad finally went away with the younger kids and left me, me late brother Tony just passed away. Left me and Tony at home because we were teenagers. Mm-hmm. And Tony liked to drink, but the first alcoholic drink would have been cider.
Yeah.
Then me and Tony had cider.
Yeah. It was like the gateway to drinking, wasn't it?
Well, it is. It's easy going down, isn't it? Because we were talking about shandy loads of times. Well, I keep bringing shandy up. Yeah. But we used to have, it was one of the best things you got for Sunday at dinner, gammon and egg.
Gammon and egg for every meal, every course, do you? How was that for Christmas dinner?
And a lovely bass shandy. And my parents used to make it as well, like a special treat. Like a little bit of lager, a little bit of lemonade. It's beautiful, man.
I remember the first time I ever got drunk, and we're drinking in Appleby Park, which used to be North Shields Football Club. Mm-hmm. Me and a lad called Eddie Burbridge, and we worked there behind the bar as waiters. And this night we decided to go on the rum and black currants. Well, we are big lads and that. Rum and black. What I'll tell you that. I couldn't get off the high school wall. All the way home, clinging to anything. And we're talking about seasickness. Yeah. That was the most horrible experience.
My granddad used to drink rum and peppermint cordial. Mm-hmm. It was cordial, wasn't it? Rum, so rum and black, I remember. Working in a bar, working in a social club, and it was literally just a double shot of rum with blackcurrant cordial in it. Sweet and alcoholic. Yeah. It was great. Usually it's a chaser with a pint of scotch.
With all the lads that I mentioned you before, Sandy Lyons, Jimmy Mann, Angie Murray, old Angie Murray, I forgot to mention them too from Bucky. We used to drink OVD rum and Krabby's Green Ginger. Mm-hmm. Wow, and pints of Guinness.
Yeah.
That was some mixture.
Perfect combination, that.
Yeah. Wow, yeah.
You don't have to eat anything, do you?
It's healthy, ginger.
Full rounded meal there, man. My word. Aye. What's a relationship with rum and fishermen? Or is that just it's one of them kind of...
It goes back to Nelson, doesn't it, with your tot of rum?
Yeah. I just wonder, why rum? Because it could have been any drink, could it?
It'll be to do with merchants and export. Well, it'll be an exporting thing.
Aye,
that was another thing on the big trawler that was on the Japonica. Mm-hmm. I was on the Japonica and then I went on to the Torero. And on the Torero, the Spanish skipper, when you hold the gear and everything went well and you got all the fish aboard and the gear shot away again, down come the wind and he'd shout you up one by one and you went up and you got a tot of rum. So you run up one at the bridge wing, and there you are, you're a good man, you work well, good lad, you tot of rum. But if you'd done anything wrong during that hole, you didn't get your tot of rum. Yeah. So you were left to stand there and everybody else was getting the tot of rum. And you knew what you'd done wrong. So, again, that wasn't a case of, I didn't get mine. It was a case of, right, I'll not do that wrong again.
Aye.
Next time I'll get me tot of rum,
Yeah.
So again, these are all things that build up... your team spirit, your cruise thing, you know. But that's tot of rum was always a nice thing to have. But I think it originated from Nelson, and it was in the Royal Navy.
Well, then you had Lamb's Navy rum.
Yeah, Lamb's Navy rum.
The brands were always adjacent to merchants and sailors. And
it's just one of them things you just associate with because you see it all the time, but you don't know the reasons why. You know, it's always thinking that. That's why I was talking about fish and chips and ice cream down the beach. And then we realized, you know, like Mincellas and everyone, they came over, Italians came over and just landed at the beach. Do you know what I mean? So just it's there for a reason.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course.
But we don't realise we just associate it with that. So anyway, another rabbit hole. Right, and Terry, let's one more question and then we'll do the grand finale.
I can't tell. I'll tell it all.
Sausage roll on myself.
Nah,
you start with pie.
I don't think so.
Corn beef.
One of those flat mince pies at the two.
No.
Binge pies.
See,
it's going down. He's
enjoying the menu.
Is it making you hungry?
Not really. I'll tell you what, right? When the microphone's turned off, right? I'll tell you. And I want to know that the microphone's turned off because I didn't trust her. Right?
I can't trust Alex.
I'll tell you. I've got to know the microphone's turned off though. Curry versus gravy.
Well, it's a chip-based question, and you've already answered that. You're a curry man, aren't you?
I cannot believe that people have gravy on fish and chips.
Really? Oh, we're talking about this, right? Okay, because I'm more of a fan of gravy, but I had curry sauce. Shout out again, Richie Chips. Yeah, I had curry sauce, and it's fantastic. So I don't know. It depends on the mood you're in, and you're not a fan at all. No.
What gravy?
Like Terry said, you know, he cannot think of why you have gravy on chips.
Yeah, you can have gravy on chips.
I'd have it with pie, but not fish and
pie.
chips.
But you can have gravy with anything. Brilliant. But not with fish.
Not with fish.
No.
It's because it's
not. You can't have gravy
just
with fish.
associate beef with gravy, don't you?
Aye. Well, I think majority of people are putting it on the chips, but there's no. You don't know, a little bit of little splash of gravy on that.
I watched
fish
that.
Is nice.
That
it's got the butter on.
That reviewer that I was telling you about that went to Commons last week. And he did a 9.5 stroke 10 out of 10 review of Collins. But he was from down south. He made a big point of being like, oh no, you'd never ever ever put your curry on the plate. You just leave it on the side to dip your chips in. Now, from time to time, I'd create a little well in the corner. I'd pour the curry onto the chips. I wouldn't always leave it separate. Do you have to leave it separate?
It depends
where
you are.
Chips with curry.
Get away your chips.
I do as well.
Oh, when you're getting it, it depends. If you're getting it to take away, it just goes everywhere. But if you're at a meal on a plate, do you know what I mean? Nah, but you can kind of control it. You can control it.
No. I'm with Chris. You've got it up with the lid. I want the chips. Yeah. And that's it. See, other people I've seen people put salt and vinegar on with a fish as well and curry. Vinegar and curry don't go together. Fish and chips go together with vinegar.
I like vinegar in curry.
So you're not having vinegar on, no? Salt on?
Salt and vinegar, if I'm in mushy peas.
Right, okay.
Fish, chips, mushy peas and salt and vinegar go together.
Yeah.
Fish and chips, curry and salt go together. You don't want nothing else. You're actually messing up your taste of your favourite curry from Coleman's. And mine from Coastline, you see.
I put vinegar on, but I kind of had it separate because I was sharing the curry, so I was like, we were dipping, and then I was pouring a bit and dipping, do you know what I mean? So it was a little bit of both. But
I didn't think you two's been fetched up proper.
Hey, Terry. I like it, doesn't matter how it comes, where it goes, do you know what I mean? I'll still jump in.
Terrible. Do you know what I ate the other day? A pickle sandwich. When I say a pickle, I mean like Ross's pickles, just round pickles.
Really? Just onions?
And there was a bit of like sourdough bread in the house, and it was going to go off. And I thought, just pour the vinegar onto that and soak it up a bit.
No cheese or no?
No, nothing.
No, just pickles.
Just balls of acid.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
They were down there. They were down the other day. Someone was making piccalilli the other day, and I was on the bake-off, man. I was watching bake-off. Piccalilli, I love piccalilli. Piccalilli, mustard and ham, like thick-cut ham on a sandwich.
Aye.
There's no better, though, tell you. Yeah, I mean, talking about foods.
Home-cooked ham, not processed. Home-cooked ham.
Thick.
Lovely thick slice of it, and it just...
It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to get that. Right, we stop our fish and chips. And then away around and get a ham and peas pudding sarnie.
Peas pudding as well. Peas pudding yesterday as well. I had some from Turnbull. Shout out Turnbulls. Really nice peas pudding, that mine.
When I came back from holiday last week, my mum had made a tub of homemade peas pudding.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Bought some thick ham.
Enormous from the gods, isn't she?
Yeah. My dad used to make it when he was boiling the bones, not in the, what they call it, the
muslin cloth.
The split peas in with the boiling, so it was taking all the flavour, and then hang up, let all the water come out, and then compress it, and that was peas pudding.
Aye.
No fancy. Again, nothing fancy.
Aye.
Perfect.
No fancy.
Dead easy.
Well, we were drinking peas pudding a few weeks ago. We went to Durham Foods. Shout out to the guys at Durham Foods. So we were drinking hot peas pudding in a meeting. I've never done that before.
Ah, well, that's your main, as you see.
Aye.
Hot peas pudding soup.
Yeah.
We just call it pea and ham soup.
Aye. Oh, it's no better than pea and ham soup. Like, yeah.
And again, so easy.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I've even made it just with the rinds up the bacon, because I used to cut the rinds up the bacon because I was always conscious of my weight, you know.
Yeah.
And just chuck the rinds in to help make the stock, and just the peas in, and the tatties and carrots and onion. Nothing else. Salt and pepper.
Doesn't need anything else.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, from one food group to the next, what's your Greg's order, Terry? You go to Greg's? You're a Greg's man?
There's a bit of contemplation going on here.
Controversial, I think. I don't know, he's going to throw something on us. Or
no, I don't mind a Greg. I'll tell you what I like, a Greg's stotty. With processed beef from the packets of beef you get.
Yeah.
And some gravy.
Like a hot beef dip.
Hot beef dip. Aye. We'll quite often have that, and the Greg's stotty is very good for doing that with. But that would be my single item that I would buy from Greg's.
Aye.
You're going to get me into trouble here. I'm not going to say it anymore, right?
Is this a camera off conversation?
I still didn't trust her.
Like I say, I wouldn't. How was your pig slice, by the way? Have you had it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good. Yeah, the previous guest made were pink slices, and I've never had one before, and it was absolutely fantastic.
I'm still having a sugar rush, and I feel pretty hyper.
Oh yeah, I'm good to go for the rest of the afternoon.
Have you got sticky lips? Gives you sticky lips, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, Stotty, I was up with Crail and Riley, was making crab stotties yesterday.
Yeah.
Aye. So,
yeah.
Looked all right. Went down a storm.
Right. Oh,
hang on, we've got a gift for you. We've got a gift.
I told you I had a gift for you. Right. Let's see what you think of that.
This is from the minds of
us. It
us.
might be controversial, but it's from our brains.
Our brains.
And it's for you.
Made by an artist. Shout out to David.
If it's from your brains, right?
Well, I hope you like
and
it.
Bearing in mind, you have just tried to drag me in to say something that I didn't want to say. I don't know what's going to be on the other side of it.
It's a past meets a present meets all the things that you care about.
Do you recognise that?
Who was that?
It's it's two local lads.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
You got the Fish Quay right, haven't we?
Yeah, aye. Well,
exactly, say it.
Right. This one, his mum used to work in Preston Hospital. And when my oldest daughter, Claire, was born, his mum held her and nursed her.
No, really?
Yeah.
And for the record, he was pointing a sting.
Yeah.
And this young fella here,
Mr. Fender.
Yeah, well, we all grew up on the same estate as his family.
All right.
Yeah. So we know this young man, and
he likes the tavern as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he likes the tavern, like. Aye. Yeah.
Aye.
Well, enjoy that.
Yeah.
We got that commissioned, so it's
that's brilliant. Lovely, thank you. Oh, look as well.
Exactly. Say, it's devil in the detail. How you mind Raji seagulls and everything there, Terry.
That's one of Sandy Lines' herons. That just the bones left.
Exactly. Say the boats there. One's called Roxanne, one's called Tudor, and one's called what's it? 16?
17 going under.
17 going under.
Yeah.
One of the boats is called at the back. But yeah, so
that's great. I'll get
do
that
with that
framed,
as you wish.
and that can go up in when you want us.
Brilliant.
Oh,
perfect.
Perfect.
Spin
it around, Terry. Just show that
Just
camera
show
in
that
front of
camera
you.
over there. So it's just right in front of you. That's your camera. Look at that.
There you are. Salmon sting.
Yeah.
You make a canny pan of shackles out of all them langoustines.
Yeah.